Have you recently come to the realization that what you've got in your PC just doesn't cut the mustard anymore? It tends to happen after you begin to engage with PC tech culture, but many of us will soon encounter a bit of a roadblock. You're ready to upgrade your PC, but your wallet isn't. So instead of splashing out with money you can't afford to spend, how about we salvage some of the parts of our old build to pop into this new one, so we don't have to add things to cart through teary eyes. G'day legends, it's Jono from Thermaltake Australia, and believe it or not, there could be a bunch of parts from your current build that are easily transferable to your next and can save you hundreds of dollars in the process. But before we get into that stuff, I'm going to go ahead and assume here that you've decided to upgrade with the intentions of getting a new GPU and case, so we won't be talking about those. I mean, why else would you do it? To rehouse your fans? Let's say we get into the other stuff that you can salvage from your old build. So I've bundled these two here because it's just easier to either reuse both together or buy new ones at the same time, because it can be a bit of a hassle to try and install a new CPU into an old motherboard and vice versa. But if you are set on keeping your motherboard and updating your CPU though, having an AMD setup is the best way to upgrade. Once installed, you'll either have to do some fiddling around in the BIOS, but it's certainly possible. You won't have much luck combining old Intel boards and new CPUs though. They tend to not play together nicely. If your current RAM is under 3000 MHz and 16 gig, you'll probably want to upgrade. If not, chuck your old ones into the new rig and you can just upgrade to 32 or 64 gig sometime down the line if you need it. Keep in mind though that you'll have to buy RAM at the same speed as your old sticks, or you won't be seeing a performance increase. It's also important to check what kind of RAM you do have, as the different generations of DDR will not be friends. You'll most certainly either have DDR3 if you've got something pretty old, or DDR4 RAM. You can check by going to your task manager, clicking on memory, and it should say DDR3 there in the top right hand corner. If you're using that, and it will say nothing if you're using DDR4. It might also just have it written on the stick itself with a little sticker, so make sure all your sticks are from the same generation. However, the brand new super fast DDR5 RAM is just around the corner, so most enthusiasts will be looking to upgrade at the time of this video. If you'd like to learn more about your PC's memory, be sure to head on over to our RAM myths video here. All-in-one liquid coolers and CPU air coolers are also a great part to transfer over because it's pretty simple to do, and new evolutions in CPU cooling don't really occur all that often. So there's a good chance that what you've got currently already does the job. But if you use the stock cooler that came with your CPU though, you might want to consider spending some cash here. Now these are easy enough to transfer, but you do need to make sure your mounting hardware will fit your new motherboard and CPU if you're upgrading those parts. Popping your future setup somewhere into like PCPartPicker.com will let you know if they're compatible. Now this might be the first thing you want to transfer over, and it might actually be why you started doing your research in the first place, because you're obviously wanting to retain all your files and stuff, right? So there's some good news and bad news. The good news is that for drives that do not have an OS installed on it, this is simply just a plug and play. Either unscrew your M.2 or unplug and unscrew the hard drives from your old case and pop them into the new one, and they'll be ready to go, and all of your old stuff will still be there. But if your M.2 does have an OS, then this will still be possible, but doing so comes with a little bit of a massive asterisk. It's simple enough to do if you're going to also reuse your CPU or planning to use a new AMD chip in the same series as your old one. But things start to get a little finicky when talking about Intel, and it's a flat out no-go if you're jumping ship from one team to the other. Fans are one of the easiest things to transfer, and it is highly recommended because of how simple it is to do. Just drill out the screws holding it into your old case and pop them into the new one. Most fans do the job just fine, and unless your old fans broke down on you or don't produce the kind of airflow you're looking for, just keep them. The PSU, everybody's favorite component. In theory, this is another easy transfer to your new case, but it does depend on your GPU, its power requirements, and its amount of PCIe slots. However, if your old PSU is at least bronze rated, it will probably be enough to power everything within your new case, so why not reuse him? Just make sure the wattage meets the total draw power of your new GPU. And that's it. Hopefully now you have a better understanding of what you can salvage from your old build to bring with you into your next rig. Not only is it super simple and practical to do, the extra bucks you'll be saving will make this a worthwhile task. If you enjoyed this video, give it a fat like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to ding that bell to be notified each and every time we make an upload for more content like this. If you're still around and you haven't left, we've still got 2 more videos you can check out on the channel, and they should be floating above me. Otherwise, if you'd like to see more of us at Thermaltake Australia, we'll catch you sometime in the future in a new video. Yeah, I ruined the outro, but you know, you get the point. Pineapple shirt. It's cool, right?